Hey everybody, this is Tom Sorcy, back for another ball motion analysis video. Today we are going to talk about the Roto Grip No Rules Pearl, one of my favorites. So let's just get right into it. So the No Rules Pearl has the amped pearl cover stock, which you will also notice is on the new Daredevil, which will be in the next video, so we can talk about that some more. And the chaotic core between this and the No Rules itself. I'm listing the RG numbers for 15s and 16s on here now because I know that most people don't throw 16s, so I want to make sure you see both. They're pretty similar here, 2.50 and 052, 053 diff, and we're going to get into that when we see some balls go down the lane. Here's a picture of mine. It's a 5-inch pin over the ring finger, 40-degree angle to the mass bias. Again, we're bowling on the unknown pattern, and I've bowled a lot of games on it by this point, so it starts to open up a little bit, but it's still fun not knowing what we're bowling on because we can actually try to make some decisions just based on our eyes and not what we expect to see. So let's take a look at some shots. I'm comparing it today to the No Rules Solid. I think it's going to be a pretty obvious comparison, so this might be a shorter video, but I wanted to be able to show the No Rules because I didn't have a video for that. So let's take a look here. So we're going to try to kind of go through these a shot at a time and see what we think. I mean, see a couple shots before we kind of get an idea what we're looking at. It looks pretty quick, medium quick here out of the gates, a couple shots in, but we'll see some shots here that kind of give us a clue. I'm going to get one in a little bit here, and you're going to see it really grab and go through the face for the split. And then we're going to try it again, basically in the same spot, and you see it there again. Really quick off the friction. So I try to find some oil, jump in, keep the speed up a little bit, and I finally get what we're looking for. So looking at the RG numbers and what we're seeing here, this is a lower RG ball. And what that means is that the core is closer to the center, and it wants to get rolling sooner. It wants to go forward sooner, start to make its move. So it's pretty strong from a friction standpoint. Compared to my favorite ball, basically, the Crux Pearl, very similar numbers. It wants to stand up a little sooner, but this No Rules Pearl is definitely quicker than that Crux Pearl. So it's an interesting combination. So you have this lower RG ball that wants to kind of stand up, but it's also got this higher differential, so it has a lot of flare potential. So I use that Crux Pearl all the time, but when it starts to use up, I don't really have a lot of options to go to because all of the quicker response balls in the line up to this point have been much weaker. So I have to kind of shut my angles down, make a lot of really big moves. This No Rules Pearl, though, is very similar in strength to that Crux Pearl. So what it allows me to do is have a quicker option of similar strength. When I'm using these stronger balls, I don't need to try and gear my speed down and shut my angles down to throw something that creates less friction. I can use this No Rules Pearl as a logical stepping stone, and then I can step down from that No Rules Pearl into some other quick balls when the friction starts to develop on the pattern. So what I compared it to is the No Rules Solid. So I mean, I assume we should be able to make some pretty obvious guesses about what we're going to see. Clearly, No Rules Solid probably a little bit stronger and probably slower from what I've seen of that ball, what I've used it. It's like a high friction, slower response ball. So here's what we see. We go right to it. You see it really kind of labor off that spot down lane because we're using a lot of angle right now. Very smooth transition from it. It's also very strong. We see that one really kind of hook up there. So we try to find some oil, and it looks good, but you can see how smooth it is through that transition in comparison to the No Rules Pearl. Kind of keep chasing it deeper, and you see that that slowness of it still. It's not really making that sharp turn. It's still striking, but it's not making the move that we're kind of expecting it to from in there. So again, fairly obvious. But I wanted to be able to put them both together because they're also both very strong. No Rules Pearl is very strong for a pearlized cover stock. We don't see a lot of that, and it was definitely a gap that I needed to fill. So let's kind of recap here real quick. No Rules Pearl, medium-high friction. It's also medium-quick response time. This is kind of a gap filler for me. Like I said, I don't have a lot of these medium-strong, quicker balls. They are kind of a unicorn of sorts when it comes to equipment in general. A lot of the quicker response bowling balls are lower friction. It's a factor of trying to make these cover stocks that are going to retain energy. So this fills a very specific gap for me, and it's very, very usable, especially with the amount that I throw, say, the Crux Pearl. And really, when we put it with the No Rules Solid, that's a pretty 1-2-3, combo right there of stronger equipment when we need it on these higher volume sort of lane patterns. We have this No Rules, this high friction, slower response time ball. We can get into something like a Crux Pearl, which is going to be slightly lower friction but still pretty strong, quicker than the No Rules but not too quick for the middle games. We get a lot of oil down lane. We can switch to the No Rules Pearl. Still strong, higher friction, but quicker response time than both of those options before. And I think that it's something that we needed, and I'm very excited to have in my arsenal now. So as usual, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Find me on Facebook, TM Sourcey. Find me on Twitter, @TomSourcey, youtube.com/TomSourcey. I love getting the comments from you guys. I try to answer everybody. I can't always be that quick. Been pretty busy at work, so I'm trying to pump out some videos that I'm a little behind on and make sure that we can get caught up with all the new things that are coming out. So let me know what you think, and hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks.